Hello and welcome everyone to episode 188 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read-through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derrick Bittner, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm, of course, freelance letterer extraordinaire Brandon Bovia, and I have been waiting for this set for a little while now. Knowing that this is coming, I was like, oh, I can't wait to talk about this, because there's some weird stuff in this set.
There's a lot of weird stuff in this set, and it's probably the first time we've had a backstory that, one, doesn't make the person any more sympathetic, really, and two, as you said before we started recording, doesn't fully explain everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's really interesting in that way, that like the things that Oda chooses to tell us about Big Mom's backstory and the things that he chooses to not say and the things that he chooses to show but not say explicitly, that to kind of leave you to put together, for all the good little boys and girls who might not get it, and then you kind of put two and two together and like, oh,
because she is messed up, but also there's some things to potentially read into, and maybe it is reading into it too much, but we'll get into that. But I had a thought when I was looking at this backstory, but it isn't just backstory. There's some modern stuff here, and
good.
A
little bit of everything. Yeah, but I'm excited to get into it. This is a great set, so.
Yeah, let's just do it. I'm excited to talk about this. So let's start with chapter 866, Natural Born Destroyer. And we're still focusing in on Cavendish, who turns out he is a prince of the bourgeoisie kingdom and is so popular that none of the young ladies are getting married. They all want him.
He has all of this, and he still wants more.
Of course, he has to be more popular.
I'm not popular enough.
That's amazing. Oh gosh. But yeah, we get into the backstory itself, and as we said before, the island home of the warriors of Elbaf. The most famous of the giants. So not all giants born here, but these are the most famous ones out there that everybody is aware of. And
that's wild too, that this is our first time seeing it on screen.
Finally, like, after hearing about it back in the 100s.
Well, 100s, yeah. Like we are finally, we get a little piece of it. We don't. Again, just the things that Oda chooses to say and the things that he chooses to omit, it is also very interesting in that way.
Mm-hmm. And this is wild to me. So we get to meet Big Mom, Charlotte Linlin, age 5, emphasizing that, yes, she is human. She is not a giant, even though
and we see her parents.
Massive. And we do see her parents, and they are her parents. If you look at their designs, you don't get too much of a close look at them, but the mom's face is very much like Linlin's. The dad's hair, very much like Linlin's. They are absolutely her parents. The yes. Signs are there.
Like, that is like kind of like question number one, like what happened here? And there's no, even to where we are in the manga currently, there's no answer to this. Like what this is. It's just like, we are just, all right, this is just how she is. And it's kind of very like, it is very kind of sad in that way that, they are basically, they're abandoning her. They're like, will you be a good girl and wait for us here? Papa has to do a job nearby. And they're just like, as a treat, you can eat all the candy in your backpack. And it's like, and then, they get on the boat and they're just, like, exile was a merciful sentence. She was too much. So we are already like, she is too much to handle for these poor parents.
I mean, it's a weird thing because my son is about to turn 5 in November. So, imagining him that big, it's just like, oh no.
Right.
It is a lot to deal with. but I still can't imagine abandoning him. But then you see more of what Linlin's all about, and it's like, no, I get it. This is
right, and it
present
I feel like
danger.
there's a lot of like nature versus nurture kind of like coming to a head here, like how like trying your best to nurture somebody who like cannot fight their nature.
Yeah, it's a wild thing here. And they do point out that they chose this place because the Holy Mother will protect her. So they do have that kindness there. Though I will say, I don't know if her parents immediately died because like they're like, oh, there's such big fish here, and it's like the size of the boat, and it's like, is it capsizing the boat? I don't know. And then a giant walrus shows up and eats the fish in the next panel when it's all snowy.
Who knows?
So I have no idea, but yeah, there she is. But it's not just the history of her; it's also the history of Elbaf, because hey, Dorian Bragi in their prime, looking quite evil. I gotta say,
yeah. That the giant warriors, as the narration says, terrorized the world over 100 years in the past. And we now that we know the story, of course, as the readers, the two captains suddenly vanished and I passed into legend. And I really like that we're seeing here kind of the context of that, right? That Dorian Bragi disappeared and kind of the effect that had on kind of like the giants as a culture and how they were seen by the government and things like that. That they the remaining members, after Dorian Bragi, after they left basically to go have their duel, the giant pirates kind of fell apart and they were captured by the Navy and sent to death. And it wasn't until we were seeing sister, not yet mother, but sister Carmel, who's basically like, don't execute them.
Yeah. It's like, after the terror they've inflicted on the world, and it's like, no, that's why don't you understand that? If you kill those men, the warriors of Elbaf will band together again, and they will most certainly swear vengeance upon humanity. Forgive them, and I will show you the way. I can guide you to a brighter world where all peoples join hands and laugh together. And it touches the giants' hearts.
Yeah, all the meanwhile, you have, the storm clouds rushing in the middle of her speech and the ray of light, which has an interesting explanation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I love how you later learn, and don't even really learn, you just can surmise based on rereading this, is that, oh, she set this up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's clever. It's a good, clever storytelling.
Yeah, he never says it, but you look into it, you know what's going on. It's like, oh my god, like played them like, yeah. Well, I already got Batman Returns vibes from Lenlin being left behind, so played him like a heart from hell.
Very, very true.
But over time, she became Mother Carmel, and she founded an orphanage named the House of Lambs that took in children without anywhere else to go, regardless of their status or race. And we see the long legs, and we see kids with forearms, and basically all brutes and whatnot.
Yep.
And time has passed. That 37 years later, and there's the classic look. There's the smile, this cigarette, all wrinkly. And you can see,
that was something I didn't quite pick up on at first. That panel of her, it's like, oh, she's young when we first see her, and then it's just kind of like, oh no, okay, yeah, she's here we are, age 80.
Right. And there's some wild looking kids in here, that's for sure.
Yes.
So Lin kind of fits in because they're all a rowdy bunch, and she's definitely of the same type, and they're just like, wow, are you huge? Are you a giant? Well, let's eat because you are hungry. And we get examples of like a prince chased out of his country after civil unrest, impoverished children who nearly fell into slavery, problem children whose parents couldn't manage them, which and it's Lin. And all of them lived in a giant village where their past couldn't bother them. And that's when she comes across giant kids, which the fact that she was so much bigger than everybody else, and seeing other people that are the same size of her or bigger, it's a dream. It's like you can see the delight on her. It's comforting.
Yeah, Yeah, and that this kind of ends up being like the first place where she feels like she belongs. And I think the other interesting thing that we kind of forgot to mention, that like that this is starting here in Elbaf, and that we already know in the kind of the current storyline that, you know, she's got this beef established with the giants for one reason or another, but that Elbaf was actually the place that she was raised, at least for a time. Does sort of gets you asking questions.
It does. You mean like, okay, she started out in Elbaf, but she doesn't have any giants. What happened there? And
Yeah.
well, that is one thing we do learn, but we also see just how she's a natural destroyer, and like the sheer strength of this girl, because she found a bear and a wolf fighting in the woods. She wanted them to be friends because, you know, fighting's bad. So she put them in the same cage, but discovered that the bear ate the wolf. So, and because that was naughty, she smacked the bear. And, you know, he's sorry now, but, you know, according to Carmel, and she's like, well, how many times did you hit him? Just once. And that's when Carmel's like, instant death. It's like, oh, no.
She immediately turns it around. And that's what I think is so good. She's like, oh, so you wanted them to be friends. You're such a sweet, kind girl. And so, like, I feel like you really do have somebody here with Mother Carmel who's, like, trying her best, right, to kind of, like, get her to, you know, understand, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's something really interesting here, too, from the perspective of, like, what we've seen from Big Mom in the current storyline, where it's, like, her kind of internal logic does feel very kind of, like, not even just, like, childish, but kind of, like almost, like, toddler-ish. It's very kind of straightforward, you know, I can only care about the one thing that's in front of me, and is, you know, it's very kind of simple, if A, then B. So it's interesting that we have this, like, you know, Mother Carmel's trying to teach her right from wrong, and trying to guide her, but is also just like this poor little girl's just, you know, she's too strong for her own good.
Yeah, and honestly, and I this is probably not the best time to bring it up, but it's definitely the first instance of where you can kind of sense it. It gives a sense that Linlin kind of reads as a bit autistic.
I could see that, yeah.
You can kind of see. I don't know if it's intentional. Well, you know, it's not something you really see a lot of in shonen, as far as I know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it just something about it, just like like, if A then B, and this is how it should be. Why isn't it like that?
Yeah, and I think that also, again, talking about that nurture versus nature, right? Like, I feel like in different circumstances, you know, like, Mother Carmel is kind of like I hesitate to say the best person for Linlin in this situation, but, you know, relative to where she's been, you know, that like, this is kind of the first person to ever kind of understand her. And so, you know, you do kind of get that, like, oh, these kind of feckless parents, I say feckless again, you know, like they kind of can't parent her. Right. And so they just give up, and you understand why, because she's you know, she's got superhuman strength.
We got dialogue here where she smacked a giant to get a mosquito, and it broke several of his bones. We don't know whether it's a giant kid or a giant adult, but still broke bones of a giant, and she's 5. Yeah. Yes. A normal human will die.
Yes. And I think that's sort of the inherent tragedy here with Big Mom's backstory. That, like, yeah, there is sort of, like, a lot of this is kind of her fault, but she is kind of a child and raised raised in a world not built to support her, I think, is the best way I can kind of put it.
Yeah, and you know, she is learning from Carmel, because she finds the Long Arm tribe a member, and she's like, oh, he has extra joints, I'm going to rip it off for him, and that'll help him. That very simple logic. Or he has gills, you know, he doesn't need that. It's like, no, you know, that's how they're supposed to be. And constantly asking her, like, hey, big smile, please forgive her, she only means well, because Carmel forgave everything.
Yeah, and just the sort of the idea that all you need is a little patience, right?
Mm-hmm. And 10 months later, the duel has still been going on for 40 years.
Yeah,
between those two.
Yeah. And hey, here's we've got Oimo and Kashi here.
Yeah, I love that. There's Oimo and Kashi. Let's go after them. After another 10. So
Yeah.
I love these callbacks to the giants we've met along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. and the idea that could just kind of jumping back a little bit, like the idea that, because we see them, working for the Navy, in the current storyline, and we kind of see the context that built up to that, like, oh no, the Navy wanted to execute these guys, that they were in danger. And so that sort of, I wouldn't even say like acceptance necessarily, but like the Navy kind of understanding that, oh no, we can use these guys, right? Like we can give them a job.
Yeah. And that's when we learn about the preparations that before the winter solstice, everybody in Elbaf has a 12-day fast where they don't eat any food. They can only drink water for 12 days. And you hear that, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, oh, this is not going to go well.
No, it's definitely not. And it's like, oh, you see, Linlin immediately says, like, I'll be so hungry. And it's like, no, it's once you're done, there's a big feast. So your truest, so you got to hold off for that. And that's when we start hearing, hey, your true opponent is yourself, Hajrudin. It's like, oh, we get to see Kid Hajrudin here. That's awesome.
Yeah, right. It's funny seeing him all tiny. As a, we've seen him as a huge adult man. And it's kind of cool because we know now in the current story, like Hajrudin's whole thing is that he wants to revive the giant pirates. Like he's the leader of the new giant pirates, I think it's called. So the kind of, there's this other giant here kind of admonishing him, like, you're a warrior, you've got to discipline yourself. So they're kind of preparing him, they're gonna, or not, Bragi or Dory are gonna return, so you need to be ready.
Yeah, and then they still didn't come back, so he's like, well, I'm just gonna do it myself. Screw it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. And then we get to see some of the elders, Chief Beard Fall and Chief Beard Hill, age 344 and 345 respectively. They're also former giant crew captains and the oldest warriors in the world. These are sort of the upper echelon of how old the giants can get.
Yeah, and even Hajrudin here is like, man, they're so cool.
The most respected warriors. It's like, what's going on here? It's like, well, we're going to head to the village and eat some semla. We've come to call on the children at the House of Lambs, and well, there's Linlin, and she learns what semla is. It's a sweet treat that is sweet cream dolloped inside sweet bread with marzipan and a dusting of sugar. It's the best thing before fast, and of course,
no, she's just
Linlin's all about that.
Yep.
So we get there, and hey, we're celebrating the recent birth of Prince Loki.
which by that, because we've heard of Prince Loki before, but now knowing that, if Linlin is like 5, so they're about the same age.
Yeah,
which is also interesting.
Fell for her daughter, so
yeah.
But again, giants live long lives, so
yeah.
Interesting there. Also, I'm sure these God knows I'll probably won't forget them, but I feel like we'll eventually meet Roto and Goldberg if they mention these just two random giants. Like, oh yeah, they were born at the village, so here's Roto and Goldberg.
Yeah. Keep that just tucked in the back of your head.
I will try, but that is definitely names I'm not going to remember.
It'll come up sooner than you think.
Without having visuals, I guess is the best way to put it. But
yeah. I'll try to point it out. I thought it notable. Oh, it's here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's time to eat the semla. There's plenty for everyone, and it's so good and yummy that she goes into a candy craze.
Like a sugar rush, Yeah. Like, wait, don't eat so fast. Like, we gotta share. So again, it's really difficult. Trying to nurture a child.
Yeah, the giants are struggling with Linlin. That is a problem.
that is a problem. Yes.
But
and as we see, the fast doesn't go so well.
No, it really doesn't. She's starving at day 3. The day 4 is like she's trying because she really truly did love Mother Carmel, And she's saying, I'm getting so skinny when not really. And she's just dreaming of the semla. She wants to have more. And by day 7, the craze has entered. Didn't even make it halfway.
She set it on fire. She set the whole place on fire.
Yeah.
I want semla, just on a tantrum.
And yeah, the entire giant village is down. The men are down. She's just like, she looks like she's powering up in Dragon Ball and she's just screaming semla.
Yeah, like it is a horrifying sight. And of course here we have I forget if it's I think it's Beard Fall,
Yes.
Yorul. He says, you do not have the right to thank the sun. Even a child can only be forgiven for so much. And so he's like, I have to kill this child.
And so it's like, it just ends with, she is a god of disaster.
Oh my goodness.
She looks like, very fittingly, by the way, in that final panel, she looks so much like Gluttony from Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh yes, yeah, I see it 100%. I did want to point out before we end the chapter here, because they reference kind of a piece of giant culture that we learn here is that they kind of the sun is sort of a big part of their religion. The winter solstice is a festival for the death and the rebirth of the sun. There's all that. We thank the sun for their growth. And so I caught that as interesting because the other, like, we saw that the fishmen also have the sun as kind of like a big part of their culture too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have the sun pirates. So
yeah, just something I wanted to point out.
And interestingly, with the Minx, it was the Nox pirates, which is
yeah, which is the moon. Yeah, so
yeah,
like there's things here.
Yeah, something is happening with those things. What that is, we got nothing right now. But we do have an SBS. It's all birthdays. It's all birthdays.
Yeah, all birthdays.
So there we go. Got all them done. I'm keeping an eye out for mine, but it's still not come up yet. Because I know we've said each of ours already, but it's not. I'm like, does mine get to be in the SBS? Has yours been in the SBS yet?
Are you talking to me or the listeners?
Yeah, yours. Well, everybody. I guess you and everybody.
No, but I'm one day off from Nami. Who's,
right.
July 3rd.
So close. But yeah, well, let's go ahead and get to chapter 867. Fittingly enough, Happy Birthday, which caught me a little off guard because as we're recording this, my birthday is tomorrow. So
hey, like, there you go. Happy birthday to you. I hope it goes better than this one.
Let's hope so. It's a problem. But we do have more of Cavendish, where he's has a life of misery and exile for being too popular with only 74 servants and 500 million berries.
Friggin' rich kids, man.
I know, right? Friggin' Cavendish, so ridiculous. But we get into the chapter itself, and it is brutal.
Oh my god!
She breaks the sword that Jorel is attacking her with, grabs his beard, and slams him down into the ground, just shouting, "Give me Semla!" And
not to jump ahead of ourselves here, he's dead. That guy died.
He dies from his injuries. Like, he doesn't. It's not right away, but he does die from his injuries. And yeah, that's a good way to piss off a country.
He's 300 years old. So he's not a spring chicken, but that's still a 5-year-old.
Yeah, 5-year-old, nearly 6 with the amount of time that's passed. And she just demolished him. And, Carmel is just like, okay, can you make some semla? There's some for the solstice in the storehouse. And, everybody else is just trying to hold her down and stop it.
Right, just get a hold of the situation.
Mm-hmm. And then we find out that Carmel has the soul fruit.
This should immediately start ringing alarm bells.
It does. It
I saw
really does. It's
like, oh no.
Oh, how does how does Carmel die, and how does Linlin get that instead? That was my immediate thought of this. But it also answers another question. How the heck does Big Mom have a son? How does Prometheus a thing? Well, it turns out it's not the sun, which makes sense. It is literally giving soul to the fire itself that is burning Elbaf, and that falls under her command. And she creates Pandora and has a calm, and it's then nice and sunny and happy, and says, "Hi, Mother."
Yeah, this is a cute little son. And of course she says, it was not me, it was the sun god that calmed the disaster. And so he's trying to, work it into the religion.
Mm-hmm. It's like, judge her. It's basically, it's like, that is no child, and help him. And here is Linlin passed out, all happy because she finally got her Semla, and Chief Beardhill is ready to just stab her straight through the stomach as she's laying there. And Carmel shouts out again, it's like, "Please have mercy." It's like, you would stop me from this? Jor-El has been my battle companion for 300 years, but at his age, he will not survive these wounds. And a warrior is not defined by his years, but how he dies. And this, killed by a 5-year-old, is not exactly a great way to die.
Yeah, right, yeah. And it's interesting, too, because we saw that even with, with Doria and Bragi kind of locked in their eternal duel. That was something that they had also, I'm pretty sure at least, that was kind of part of the reason that they were fighting. And so there's this interesting cultural kind of things going at play here. Mm-hmm. Then poor Mother Carmel is kind of she's trying to play the diplomat.
Yeah, it's like, leave her to go. I can't abandon her. I will take her and leave this place. And it really does come across as the same sort of love that Lal got from I'm so sorry, I'm blanking.
Corazon.
Yeah, Corazon. It comes across as that. It's like, this is a child that needs support
to be raised.
And I'm willing to make that sacrifice to have it happen, despite the terrible things she's done. Like, so much beyond what Lal ever did. But Hadradin is like, you got to kill Linlin. What's become of the pride of Elbaf? But
yeah, I love this is him with his sword. He's so angry. He's like, you kill this girl.
And Carmel has had such pull with the Giants ever since that, wishing for them to be safe, that he's willing to let it go. And so, Uriel died. And between the devastation of Linlin and Carmel's miracle, the events of that fateful day spread far and wide through the few settlements of giants around the world. And that's it. It's like, oh, well, that explains why the giants hate her.
Yeah, that explains that. Yep. So, the name recognition game not doing too hot right now.
No. But yeah, the House of Lamb's children couldn't stand to be separated from Carmel, so they went with her. And they left the shores and started their lives over at a new House of Lambs. And the Giants do help Carmel build a new house.
Which is incredible diplomacy, which I guess it goes to show how much they feel that they owe her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it could have been just a great war that probably would have wiped out the Giants, let's be honest.
Yeah, especially if, get the Navy involved and all that stuff.
Yeah. So, they have that, and it says that, after this, Carmel's smile grew even warmer after that as she strived to set the worried children at ease. And within just a few days, things were as they used to be, and the House of Lambs rocked with the laughter of children again.
If you didn't know any better, and by know any better, I'm literally mean like in one page, you would think that is like the smile of somebody who is just keeping it together. Yeah. And I mean, it is, but just not in the way that you think.
It. Yeah. It's like, man, it really, after a while looking at that smile, it's like, man, she is holding it in. Like, you can definitely tell it's trying her patience.
Yeah.
And then we get to that next page and oh no. To the rest of the world, the House of Lambs was a place where the pious mother would miraculously reform problem children until they were ready for a good home. And that's when she's talking with Cypher Pole.
Yeah.
reveals
You
he's
see that
talking with
world government flag.
Yep. It's like, well, I never thought you'd leave Elbaf. It's like, I had to. I didn't want to give the girl up. Just consider it. At 5 years old, she had the talent to lay a village of Elbaf half to waste. And it's like, this asking price, wait, it's beyond your means. As a sailor, she could be an admiral, even fleet admiral. In Cypherpole, she'd be the greatest shield the celestial dragons could ever want. I've been in the kid selling business for 50 years. So she's the finest product I've ever had.
She is Mother Carmel is a child trafficker.
To the government.
Yikes.
The government. Good God.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
no.
I think we'll see this later. We'll come to this later. But like, Linlin never knows. She doesn't know this.
No.
And
she never finds this out.
If Big Mom knew, she wouldn't hold her in like such a high regard, you would think, right? So it's like, and that's kind of, I think, like the inherent tragedy to it all, that like this is sort of like the one person who understands you. Like, again, yeah, very, very much like that. It's like, what if the Law Corazon thing was like, but actually, she's trying to,
like,
she's trying
the one
to sell
person
you.
that understands you is just putting on a brave face so she can sell you and make you malleable.
The world's most patient brave face.
Yes. And of course, she reveals, I arranged that little stunt 37 years ago, and I took root in Elbaf and produced the first ever giant recruit for the Navy, John Giant. And that was all thanks to her. I run the House of Lambs, nice and tidy, and little do the kids know, every other year I sell the liveliest orphans to the government. And, they make good spies, right? No family history, no strings attached. Perfect for getting those Cypherpole agents and getting them trained up.
Yikes, man.
Yeah. And she just says, yeah, you'll give me that money. It ain't easy playing a holy mother. And I'm not getting out of the biz after this one. It's my last big score and you're going to pay up. And that's when we find out that, yeah, Mother Carmel, orphan seller, codename Mountain Hag.
Mountain Hag.
Jesus.
Just really, no subtlety, just laying it on thick, which I feel like this reveal makes what happens kind of just I don't know if like not really tragic, but just kind of like ironic.
Yeah, it really does, especially because you see them they're singing Bink's Brew. They're like, oh, it's a pirate song because we're gonna be pirates, and they're all playing and happy and working together. And there's that one panel on the right where everybody's sleeping, and Carmel just has that smile, and it seems so much more malicious now. It's like, oh boy, that adds some context.
Really does.
But yeah, it's Linlin's birthday. They make a cake out of semla. Made him a croquembouche out of them. So I hope it tastes good.
Wow, that's what she was. She had those hunger pangs for.
Yeah, she did. So, and it's also a tea party. So it's time to eat up and enjoy. And that's when we get the breakdown. It's like, one day, Mother Carmel simply vanished. And it happened on the very best birthday that Linlin ever had. She was with her friends at the House of Lambs, kids who'd been through the same hardships, and her beloved, kind-hearted Mother Carmel. Surrounded by all those smiles and eating her delicious sweet birthday cake, Linlin found that she couldn't stop crying. What a wonderful day that was. She couldn't even see through her tears. What a truly wonderful birthday. And then just a big old yummy as she's just stuffing her face, hard eyes. And everybody's laughing around her.
You can see the as she screams out "yummy," there's a "wah," and you can see sort of like sweat drop lines coming like off of the horizon, and just singing "ah," and you're like,
"Oh, I missed that." I was so busy. I'm so absorbed into the thing.
Yeah, because
narration.
It takes you a second, right?
Right, because you have all other sound effects where it's ah ha ha ha, chomp chomp, and just other there's so much going on that when you first see the wah and the ahs, it's like it's just celebration sounds at first. I think comes across.
It wasn't until I saw kind of the sweat drops coming off. I was like, Ah, okay,
Oh.
okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, and as Lin says, that was so good. I was eating so much that I chewed the table a bit. Thank you so much. I'll never forget this day for the rest of my life. And everybody's gone.
Yeah.
Guys, mother, there's nobody there. The table is, you can see bits of it. You can see kind of bits of clothes kind of strewn about. You can see Mother Carmel's like her nun outfit.
Right.
And it just says, one day she simply vanished.
And at that point I saw that, I'm like, did Oda really do that? Is that really what just happened here? Was my first reaction. Yes. And of course it is confirmed later.
Yes.
Holy crap.
That maybe one of the most surprisingly dark, I think, backstories.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think. There's been some dark stuff in the past for One Piece. Having a 6-year-old eat all of her friends, children, and an 80-year-old woman is, and I didn't realize it. Good God.
Yeah, and all of this time has seemingly, over the past 60 years, has never once thought that was something that she did.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too, because we saw this with Beardfall, Yorl or Yarl, I can't remember which one. But after she kills him, she's like, oh, he's dead. How'd that happen? Right? She has seemingly when she gets into, I guess she just kind of loses herself in the moment, and she has no, even she herself has no control over it, which again is just I think kind of just what makes kind of this backstory so sad. It's really messed up, but it's also
it's you feel it's weird.
You feel
it's weird. Sad for Lin.
Mm-hmm.
You feel sad for the children, but Lin's also the source of this, and you kind of want to feel sad for Carmel, but then you realize what happened.
She was a monster.
Yeah, Carmel was a monster. So this kind of
good riddance. So it definitely it leaves you going just
yeah.
Of all of the I feel like it's one thing when One Piece kind of very, very blatantly covers, kind of has its own spin on real world events and politics and social issues and things like that. Cannibalism. It's a new one.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time we had that was when Zeph ate his leg. So
that's true. And hey, that was his own leg. It was fine.
Yeah.
So, but there's a little more to this, but I do think, just I don't know that she's been carrying this, the flashback ends and she's still, we're back in the current time. She's crying, where did you go, mother? And that she's has this loneliness that's just been unresolved this whole time.
Yeah, which makes sense to why she has such a big family.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
good God,
dude, again, it's just a really interesting story to tell in One Piece. It's very different. It's just wild. Yeah,
it is. You don't come out of this feeling pity. I mean, I guess there's some pity for Big Mom, but
it's
you don't
kind
feel
of surprisingly complicated.
Poor her.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of One Piece backstories, there's a very kind of a very blatant kind of a victim. Victimized by kind of like systems of power and things like that, and there, like I said, there's some of that with Lin, very much she's just born into a world that seemingly cannot support her, or whatever she is that is clearly human. Which I feel like it asks a lot of questions that I do think will be resolved by the end of the story, but have currently not been resolved yet.
Oh man, that's wild. We do have an SBS. One kind of going into the history of Beppo and his brother Zeppo.
Yeah, I think we called that, right?
Yeah, I believe we did. It's like, we know Oda. That has to be a thing.
Yeah.
So, Pedro's Nox explorers were pursued by the government for searching for poneglyphs, which turned them into the Nox pirates. That was about 15 years ago. Beppo loved and admired his older brother Zeppo. He descended the elephant to gaze at the sea and ended up getting washed over to the North Blue. That's certainly something, where he met Law. Meanwhile, Peckham's took all the Nox pirates who were unable to continue due to the injury or lack of will, leaving just Pedro and Zeppo at sea. Peckham's group wound up in Big Mom's territory, which saved their lives and gave them a new master to serve. Pedro and Zeppo ultimately set their sights on Big Mom's poneglyphs after 5 years of searching, which led to their reunion with Peckham. So there's how that all goes. Yeah. And then here's the other interesting one, which I'm calling foul on Oda on this one. Because somebody says, I want to see Lin at age 28 and 48. Can you help with this? And at 28, she is traditionally attractive, looks thin. She thickens out at 48. And then, of course, we see her at her current age of 68. There is no way Big Mom looked at like that at 28. I'm sorry.
I hate to break it to you, she does. That is consistent with other time periods. Which funny. Which I also thought was very funny, because when you see her as a 5-year-old, you're like, okay, yeah. And then you see her just like as a young adult, and it's like, oh, she had a hot era.
Yeah, exactly. And even at 48, still not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah. So it's just like, all right. Okay, Oda.
That's, I don't know. But let's go ahead and move on to chapter 868, KX Launcher. And I've forgotten that this was a thing. Mm-hmm. All this stuff about Cavendish was just him relaying that to, Orlando.
Oh, yeah. Of course, you really understand that. Yeah, he's a yapper.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, the pirates chasing us. Don't worry about them. We shouldn't open fire because they're not enemy ships, and they're just fans.
And again, I love that he wants validation so badly, and he's surrounded by it. He can't get away from it. Of people just going, "I love you, marry me," and he's just kind of like, "I'm not popular enough."
That's amazing.
Sure, buddy.
Whew, but this might be my favorite chapter of the set, though, just because of the way it weaves between, like, continuing the backstory, which I didn't expect, and just the present day stuff. Because 63 years ago, Mother Carmel and the children simply vanished. Even Big Mom herself does not know the full truth of it. But as a matter of fact, there were 2 people present who witnessed the whole thing, and just seeing the reaction of like her still screaming and the satisfied look on Beige's face.
Yeah, he's still like, "Yep, all right." Yeah, because they're all they're ready to fire.
One of the witnesses was a warrior of Elbaf who was worried about the House of Lambs and came to check in on him. The giant went pale, took off running, and never came back to the island again.
Nope.
It's like, no. Eventually, the tale spread to Elbaf, and all the giants in the world, and from that point onward, the name Charlotte Linlin became so hated that no giant would even speak it aloud.
Just to think that you had one of the 2 of the oldest warriors in the world, and one of them got taken out by a toddler, and
the other ate their holy mother that they all loved and respected.
Yeah. So you can. It's funny that despite all of that, at least from how Big Mom tells the story, is that I had this marriage set up with Prince Loki, like I was about to finally repair my relationship with the giants, and it's like, I'm kind of surprised you got that far.
Does make you curious about Prince Loki and how much he knows or what's going on there.
Yeah.
That he either didn't know or somehow overlooked it for Lola.
Yeah. The fact that all of that ended up being Lola's fault is also really funny to me.
Mm-hmm. Also, I just had a thought. We've not seen Lola's father and Chiffon's father for a long time. He ran off.
He's
It's funny, like it's like, nah, he doesn't matter. We just needed him to provide a connection to the fact that we have Chiffon.
And
Lola.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
all.
much.
That's really funny. But the other witness was a failed piratical cook who'd wound up living on the island by the name of Strusen. He found this to be very entertaining, and we see his devil fruit, which the cook fruit, which allows him to turn anything into food. And it made me realize, it's like, wait a second, this is not a naturally occurring place with Whole Cake Island. Did this dude create this, like, basically this is where she grew up, and this gradually turned this land into what Whole Cake is now and all the connecting islands?
I mean, that would make sense, right? That, that like everything's made out of food to begin with. So like it strikes me that, like, it probably isn't naturally occurring, is it?
No. That'd be my best guess.
I do want to hold on. I have a thought, but I should. Yeah. And so this guy, Strusen here, like, he, approaches Big Mom over. He's like, wait, don't come too close. But she, kind of chats her up a little bit. He's like, you won't go hungry with me around. And the narration is the meeting of these two that launched the eventual Big Mom pirates. And I had a very cursed thought after I read this the first time, because as we learned, or I don't know if you remember, Strusen is the guy who made the cake. We see him at the end of the flashback. That's the guy who made the cake, is Strusen.
I didn't realize.
I think I had a very uncomfortable thought once I realized that so he's the OG, basically, right? Like,
right.
So is he the dad of some of Big Mom's kids? Because that's weird. The
first husband? It doesn't seem like that's the case, because she seems to remember, we had the narration that she forgets or abandons the husbands that she's gone through.
That's also true. Okay,
so I don't think she keeps cruising around.
I was like, because just like, dog, you met her when she was 6.
Yeah,
I was like, you're a grown man.
I had that thought, but then I remember the line of dialogue about what she does with ex-husbands. So I'm like, I think we're okay. Thank God. Although, that makes Strusen here way more diabolical than I ever realized. For the
that it was all kind of, which is weird for, like, not to really, like, he's not that important of a character in the grand scheme of things, but it is weird how much that he's just he saw this and took advantage of it. He saw a bunch of people getting eating, and he's like literally rolling on the floor laughing.
Yeah.
So I feel like I feel like he's an interesting character that I feel like Oda maybe just was like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to get into this guy. But it's just one of those things that's like, huh.
Yeah, okay. You can think about a lot of potential for things. Who knows how it all turns out? But man, either way, it's like, okay, so that's just enough backstory, that it gave you an idea of what's going on. And there's still a little bit more to go, but the big deal here is that, hey, Big Mom is weakened. We've got 5 seconds where no one here can move. So that's when the KX launchers will be the most effective, and Big Mom will die. And we just get this narration of, Mother, they're all trying to stop me. And the crazed look
on Caesar, he's like, yes.
Oh gosh, and all the reactions is all of this is heading towards it, and it's like, oh gosh, is it going to work? Is this going to happen? And of course, more backstory with Strusen is like, let's make this our own country. This is why I had the idea of like, this becomes Whole Cake and everything else, a land of dreams where everyone is equal, where everybody can coexist. Where she's like, wait, at the same eye level, then everyone can be big like me, and that's like, she has her dreams. She wants a piece like that, a land that Mother would like. But it's also explains because of her different ideas and how she sort of treated that piece as like, would explain why things got a little messed up. But then also, discover it's like, hey, it's a trick that Mother did. How can I do it? That's like, oh yeah, she does have the soul fruit because she ate Mother Carmel.
That is an interesting confirmation.
Cannibalism gets you a devil fruit.
Yeah, if you eat a devil fruit eater, I'll throw this theory out because whatever Blackbeard did to gain Whitebeard's devil fruit power, I wonder if he like ate a part of Whitebeard somehow.
I don't know, because the question is like, did it happen because she ate Mother Carmel, or did some fruit that she was eating become that
while
devil
she
fruit
was while she oh god,
and she just gorged that as well. That's the only two possibilities. So I don't know.
That's horrifying.
I don't know.
Yeah. And again, I throw that out there because I don't know. That has not been explained.
Oh no. But yeah, we see her starting bounty at 50 million berries.
She's just a kid.
She's just a kid. Does not matter. She is a monster. We see that next one where she's still younger. She may be 10 in that next wanted poster. 500 million berries. Age 10, she had Luffy's bounty.
That is... God, and you see that, where she's like terrorizing people. It's like, bring me all the sweets you have. Here she is as a 10-year-old, maybe a preteen. She's already got like Zeus and Prometheus here, just causing all kinds of havoc. And it's just kind of saying, I'll guarantee you a peace in a land of dreams while she's just like about to eat a guy. Just do as I say, everybody will be happy. Yeah. And that really, I think that just kind of is her mindset at this point. Like it is that's how you get somebody who is, like wants to do a good thing, but is just like so warped by like kind of, this is what happens with somebody who doesn't really have like a parental figure.
Mm-hmm. Like she has the core idea of what Mother Carmel preached, but it's still warped.
It feels very much like a child's understanding of the world, but as a 68-year-old woman.
Yeah, very much so. And you can see even her dreams, like she has these this idea of like her, even at the current age, sitting across from all the kids she grew up with in Mother Carmel, eye level. That's for her dream. That's why she's all about the gigantification. So, man, it's wild, and her screams are so extreme. She says, "I'll make the Straw Hat crew pay for their sins," and the missiles all explode before they hit her because of her screams.
Yeah, just the Conqueror's, the Supreme King Haki is so strong that it just... that face from Beiji and everybody in his just oh god.
This has not gone like I thought it would, how I usually take out leaders. Oh crap, the plan has failed. Get out of here.
Run. We gotta... Yeah, it's run.
Yeah, and Kamakuri's already getting the mochi out to block everybody's ears, so they're good to go. And it's chaos. Actually, I did have a real quick thought here, because so do you remember the one character I pointed out during the party that had the panda his hat on and sharp teeth? Trying to figure out like why, like, that character is that character important because I've seen them around, and you were like, no, they're really not. Somebody reached out to me and explained why that is.
Oh, okay. I'm interested to hear this.
Do you know why? Do you know why it's all it stands out?
No idea.
And how I saw the character, because it shocked me as well because I just did not realize it. That character is also voiced by Corinne Sudberg, Megami 33.
Oh,
so whenever I follow her and she'd have her con appearances, she'd have that character there along with Momonosuke.
Yeah.
So it's like, I was like, I recognize that character. They must be important, just for completely forgetting where they came from.
Wow, that's kind of incredible, actually.
Yeah, so that's all.
Which is incredible for a character with no speaking lines thus far, who I have to only imagine that the anime must have given her something to do.
I assume so, because she has not had a role whatsoever. Don't really expect her to have a role whatsoever at this point.
No, that's fun. That's good trivia.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. But the plan continues with Caesar being like, okay, I got to get the mirror in there, hold it up so they can escape. And, once we do that, I get my heart back and we can get out there. I can't believe she destroyed my launchers. So
he's so mad.
The Emperor of the Sea is for real, that's for sure. So jump in the mirror, time to split up. So let's go. So they all take off. And with such incredible wind pressure from Big Mom, she shatters the glass and they can't escape.
Yep. And just everybody is... Well, everybody's freaking out. I love... Jinbei even is like... He's just a little freaked out.
Jinbei's like, crap.
Yeah. And, we're stuck on the roof. There's no escape. There's no hope of winning. Here comes Katakuri and Smoothie and everybody just itching for a fight.
Gotta say, that's a pretty badass pose, seeing Smoothie and Katakuri coming up like that. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
That's bad. And that's when Beijing breaks out full-scale Rook and mounts a giant castle in the shape of his face called the Big Father.
Yes.
Which, I love that design. It reminds me of the rock monster from Neverending Story.
Oh yeah, I can totally see it. I love the eyes and the cigar cannon.
Yes, that's so good.
Yeah. That's
really, it's cool to kind of see the upper limits of Beijing's power.
yeah. It's kind of like, well, everything. It's all downhill from here. So
Yeah, remember how I said the plan was working too well? No, It's not working out well at all.
Yeah, I love how much of it is just they underestimated Big Mom that badly, because you would like it all made sense from their perspective, but it was just like, oh no, she like that was something that the maybe the backstory was also there to establish is, oh no, she is so strong that nope, the KX launchers, nope, or the mirror, nope, just. All right, then.
All she has to do is scream.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
There was no hope from the beginning.
Nope. So let's get into chapter 869, Castling. And, hey, it turns out we're done with... yeah, I was right in this prediction. It's focusing on a little bit of everybody. So now we're done with Cavendish. Time to see what Bartolomeo's up to.
Oh, God. just
making a ruckus.
He's coming ashore. There's a guy with like a wooden bat. He's just ready for a fight.
Yeah.
It looks like I don't know, is he in Mexico? What's going on here?
I have no idea. Something's happening, but they got to rush into Beijing's castle, and oh gosh, I'm blanking on his name, but I think the oldest son. It's like, I saw what you did.
Oh, this is not the oldest son, but this is Montdor.
Montdor, that's right, Montdor, our book.
Yeah, he's the book
character. It's like, you were plotting to assassinate Mama. Was that the plan from the very beginning? We got to whack him and Caesar. So it's like, oh, they're out for blood.
Yeah. Yes.
But
and all the meanwhile.
I have no idea what's going to happen with this. So far, it is amazing. But yeah, this one of the guys, the guests that we saw come with, the other important people of the underworld, uses the mochi to block his ears, spots the tomate box, and we don't see what he does right away, but you get a sense of, oh no, this guy.
I was just like, all the while, all hell is breaking loose. Just like you have this side guy going like, oh, okay, I see. A little bit of time to make my move. Again, as we all know, bomb.
Bomb, yes. Nobody else knows that. But it's a bomb.
Yeah, actually, that's funny. Now that to talk about playing with reader expectations, nobody here knows. Like only King Neptune and the reader.
I can't remember if Jinbei knows or not.
Oh,
was he there during that conversation? I don't remember. I wish I did.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But yeah, turns out our captive why am I blanking on
Brule.
names? Brule gets rescued by Katakuri from her backpack prison.
Caesar gets away though.
Caesar does get away, but things are not going well. Katakuri is sending out his jelly beans. Smoothie gets a hold of Nami. The genie gets a hold of Carrot. Chopper gets grabbed by, I don't even know this guy's name, with the
Oven.
spade head.
He's
Oven, that's
the
right.
Heat guy.
man.
Yeah.
Not going well, but all the while, here's Sanji still standing on the table in front of his family in Perospero.
Yeah, which I kind of forgot about. The first time I read this, because I was so focused on the backstory. I was like, oh right, that was sort of the last place we saw Sanji, was actually rescuing his stupid family.
Mm-hmm. And Sanji's just like, let's go, and they all I love how they all silently get out their transformation boxes. We got 1, 2, 0, 4, and I'm guessing Joker for
Judge, maybe J
Judge.
for Judge.
Oh, maybe J for Judge. That could be it too.
Yeah,
and we get
it's
a
straight
full-on henshin.
It's morphin time, baby.
Where it starts spinning and spreading the stuff. We get a an interesting shot on there for Reiju.
Yeah, they're all naked under there. It's good to confirm.
Yep. We get some cheesecake for the guys as well, but not in the same way as Reiju, that's for sure.
Yep.
Good God. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's cool, but they are literally
suck.
coded as Nazis. Damn it.
Yeah. And of course, I have seen the anime version of the scene where they go.
Oh, I'm sure
they go full
hard.
on with the animation for this one. Yeah, they give it their own like theme and everything. Like it is full Super Sentai. And that shot of it, because they're like, while they're transforming, it's like you have some of like the Big Mom pirates, like they're all like trying to shoot at them and stuff, trying to like set them on fire. And so you have them all like posing like in front of the fire because their memory armor is flame proof apparently. I don't know how Perospero knows that, but
I don't know. But I guess he just assumes because they're literally in the fire and not reacting to it. So
yeah,
there
which
you go.
I mean, just it's so cool, but they're so terrible.
I know, but it's a cool shot, and you can see immediately like what Oda's trying to do with them. It's like,
yeah,
oh,
this was kind of the payoff for
the
it.
anime.
Yeah, this is what he wanted to do with it. Really.
Oh yeah,
and it is funny again
reason.
as things continue to move on. It is kind of funny, just like how much of a like they're kind of the least important part of all of this between the Straw Hats really. and Beiji and the Big Mom Pirates. Like they're just kind of here.
Oh, but yes, we get them kind of saving the day, where Sparking Red to hit Perospero, Electric Blue against the Heat Man, Poison Pink against Smoothie, and Winch Green against the Genie, saving all the Straw Hats.
Yeah, and then my favorite thing out of all of this is one, like that, as they're all being saved, Sanji, catches Nami, straight in his hands, with the Princess Carrie, and you have that panel of both of them smiling, and it's so freaking cute. And then you just have that one panel of Pudding in her wedding dress, just kind of looking off, like, from the side. And I was just like, I see. Interesting.
Very interesting.
I thought you hated Sanji.
Yeah. Funny that, isn't it?
She seems a little jealous.
Just a bit. Watch those hands, by the way, Sanji. That's all I'll say. But then we check in on our underworld guy. Again, I forget his name.
I don't remember this guy.
He's opening up the Tamate backs. He's like, not far enough away, no one will see me. I gotta love the good character version. Now I'll have the opportunity to switch out the contents. And all of a sudden, another scream from Big Mom knocks him away and knocks the Tamate back box, now unwrapped, off the side of the main castles. Now it's on the side there.
Again, teasing the reader, knowing that this is a bomb, and that
we see nothing else of this thing for this set.
Yeah.
Prediction: somebody's going to find it, open it, and it's going to cause the entire structure to fall because the bomb's that big.
I mean, at this point, right, you'd wonder, why
my
else?
Best guess on how that's going to go down.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sitting here like, you'd think it would explode from like a fall this big already, but the fact that if we can cut away from it and everything else is happening right now, and then I guess it didn't go off, so it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just dangling that carrot.
We'll see. I'm so excited for that thing, but man, seeing Beige still making the attempt with his cannons against Big Mom, and well, their 5-second window is gone because we have Katakuri with Candy Wall. Oh no, it's Perispero with Candy Wall.
Yep.
Yes. So it's like, oh, is Germa in your plot too? And he's like, well, let's try a different angle. I'm going to keep firing until I'm out of ammo. It didn't work because all the cannons in the castle are jammed up with Mochi. So there's Katakuri causing
Mochi. The Mochi ended up being the most difficult thing to work around.
Yep. And Big Father's limbs are trapped in candy. They can't move anymore. They're surrounded by Big Mom's crew. And we've got to hold ourselves up at the castle for a battle they can't hope to win.
Friggin' Perispero, man. He can immobilize the Big Father.
Perispero is much more of a threat than you'd think looking at him.
Yeah. And I love that while all of this, Katakuri's got Brule. He's like, you let them use you for everything.
I'm the victim. I love how she's like, just destroy them, every last one. And I like the setup here that it seems like it's gonna be Reiju versus Smoothie, which, boy, I hope that's the case because that sounds like a fun matchup.
Yeah, she's just like the poison. She's like wringing out the poison.
That's so good. Of course, Luffy's just freaking out. He's like, "Oh, this is so cool! You get to turn into a giant castle."
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Beiji's is like, I spent a whole year on that plan. They never had a hit jump backfire like that.
That's not so good. It's like, and Brooke just calmly drinking tea. He's like, well, it just goes to show how much greater the emperors are. So what now? It's like, well, it's time to get your heads in gear because this castle is me. It's hardy, but it ain't invincible. If the castle gets destroyed, I die, which means the castle disappears and you all get tossed out of there with the monsters. It's hell out here and it's hell being stuck in here. So we're in dire straits. And of course, Caesar's like, hey, don't blame me. Those launchers feature state-of-the-art, world-class, and Beiji's taking some hits because Big Mom's pissed.
Yeah,
because
she's
come back
climbing up Beiji's castle. And she's done crying and she's back in her right mind. And I love this. And she says, all of you, get out of the castle. Show yourself. She's just cracking it.
And poor Chiffon looking after, like, honey. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Chiffon.
Yeah, it's like, okay, there's Mr. Father, it's a husband, rather. It's
yeah.
like there's I love how much things have escalated here.
They're really, there is no good way out of this. Like, usually it's like they can fight their way out of this. No, all of Mom's forces are concentrated here.
Yep. It's hell out there, hell in here.
I truly have no idea how they get out of this.
Yeah. Like, I do. I mean, I feel like even, again, more, maybe the most since the time skip, this has felt like kind of the most dire straits that pretty like everybody's been put in. Even compared to Dressrosa.
No, this is so, like, things are bad in Dressrosa. This feels worse. Yeah,
I think because it is so clearly established that, like, yeah, like Big Mom and her, like she's goofy, and like the theming and her crew, like they're goofy, but like they're strong, and I feel like that is they have Oda has done a good job of like not really undermining that, which is something that I really like. So it really does feel like this is not so good.
It feels insurmountable, and I honestly have no idea. Like, our end goal is still trying to escape. Mm-hmm. Is that satisfying enough?
Yeah.
But also, is it feasible for them to actually defeat
Can
Big
you
Mom?
even escape in the first place? Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, I'm not so sure.
Yeah. Which is wild to think, because now we've got like 30 chapters left, so there's not that much time to like, one way or another, how things shake out. It has to happen here soon.
Oh my god.
This arc is so wild, man.
I can't wait.
It goes places.
Let's get to that final chapter for the set, though. 870, Parting. And Bartolomeo's sticking to his pirate ways. Find and crush the baddest guy in port. Set a castle on fire. This place is surrendered. Okay.
There's that club that broke it in half. They've got the white flag.
Okay. I don't know where this is going, but sure. Okay,
yeah. All right.
Maybe he's just praising the Church of Luffy still.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, we get into the chapter itself, and Big Mom's like, "Get out here, Beige! Get out here, Straw Hat!" And Chiffon tries like, "Hey, Mama, look, it's me. Beige's my husband. We have a baby. Please just let us go. I beg of you." And she's like, "Chiffon, you still just look like just a little. I told you not to show that face around here."
And she just goes, I'm crushed. Just keeps beating on this poor castle.
Which just feels so bad for Chiffon.
You do. She starts crying, man. And you already, like, with that heart-to-heart that she had with Nami a few chapters ago, where it's just kind of like, yeah, Beiji said she's going to kill my mom, and I didn't feel anything. And it just kind of like, that she tried to, reach out in spite of that, and still just like, no. Your mom still hates you.
Nope. And it's just like, all she says is, "Hey, are you in this assassination plot too? You won't be getting any snacks tomorrow, that's for sure." So, and all the while, all the kids are just like, well, once she kills them, we get to get the rest because they'll all come out. So we just see all of them. We got...
Yeah, no, they're all lined up.
The fire tanks, the Straw Hats, Jinbei, Germa 66. We're just going to wipe them all out. So, yeah. Not good, and Beige's in rough shape.
Yeah.
It's like, the Big Father can take a cannon blast without a scratch, but I can't do nothing to defend against this.
Yeah, and of course, Luffy's like, "All right, I'm going out there."
And that's when Nami's like, "Hey, just don't run off and end every fight." We got Sanji back. We got the poneglyph copies. We even helped Sanji rescue his family like he wanted. Our mission's done. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, the Brooke kind of chimes in to reinforce that fact. We made it this far because we, came in a small group. So, like, let's just get out, meet with the rest of the crew in Wano. And I kind of like that. While Beige is just bleeding out, it's just dying. He's just kind of like, all my plans are to utter ruin, and yours are rousing success. I don't like it, not one bit. He's just kind of like, you're not gonna drag us down.
It's like, I did what I was supposed to do. That's Caesar's like, so give me back my heart. That's all he cares about. I want my heart.
Yes, yeah. It's so funny how long that bit has been going on for.
And Beige lays it out simple. I don't care what happens to you guys, but I do care about my men and the wife and son that I love. I ain't about to let them die. It's like,
it's kind of a cool moment.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of sick.
There's only one way to ensure that everyone survives. This chamber is inside of my body, and whether I get knocked around or go tumbling, it doesn't affect this space. Same thing if I revert from the Big Father back to being human. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll return to being human with all of you still inside. Then Caesar will pick me up and fly me to safety. And Caesar's like, "Oh God, I have to do another suicide mission."
Yeah. Oh yeah, and of course, he's ranting and rambling in the background. And I kind of love that we're setting up a plan, but we kind of shift away from this. Poor Caesar's like, they use armament hockey. Like, he's got a point. He can't turn into gas to defend against that.
Mm-hmm. And all the while, Judge turns to Sanji, who's like, "All right, answer me one thing. Why'd you save us, the very fools who fell right into the enemy's trap?" And I love this from Sanji. "Because my father would be sad if I were still fixated on the childhood hatred for my past." And you would be astonished that I had turned into such a small man that I would laugh off the death of my own family. And I'll be damned if I lead a life where I can't stand tall and look him proudly in the eye. And it's just like, Zeph.
Yes.
Love you, Zeph.
Yes. I love that line so much, dude. Where it's just straight to his face, my father would be sad. And I just, I have thoughts. I guess I should, the rest of the speech where, Sanji says that he ran away from Germa. Vinsmoke, Sanji died at sea, and that's what you wanted. We can kind of get that flashback. Don't mention anybody that I'm your father. And so we kind of get Sanji to turn it back on him, and he yanks Judge just by like his scarf thing, and he says so admit it, you are not my father, Vinsmoke Judge. Don't ever show your face around me ever again. And I love that the rest of the crew just watches in silence, and that's it.
And Judge is darkened by this whole thing. It's like you almost see a sense of regret in Judge, which is very interesting. It's like, all right, you have my word that I will never approach you or the East Blue again. And they get a little smile there from Reiju. And
so on the one hand, because Germa 66 are just such scumbags, you do want to see them get their comeuppance. But I love having this resolved by Sanji being the bigger man, by turning it back around, with those morals and those beliefs that his actual father instilled in him. So kind of just
it's so interesting that I was at the beginning of this, I'm rooting for him to beat the crap out, show that he's stronger than this old family, that he's not a failure and all that. When it turns out, it doesn't matter. Who cares what they think? Yeah,
which again, and that I feel like that is what makes this so good, and what makes again, kind of in all of this, such a chaotic situation, the fascists are the things that matter the least, right? And that's how you have to handle it. You can't, because ultimately, right? Power is the language that they speak. So I love the way that Oda is able to just that Sanji kind of proves that he's better without fighting necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, uses that, and just I don't know. It's a very, very, very well done sequence that you don't. Again, it takes a swerve in ways that you wouldn't expect, because every other arc you'd expect this to be big climactic battles between each of the brothers and taking them down individually and all that. So it's just a question of not morals, but just how they are. And I basically, from the shame of having to be rescued. The other thing I wanted to mention. I think Judge also realizes his dream is dead. Without Big Mom, they have no chance of ever conquering the what is it, the West Blue.
Mm-hmm.
So
is it West? I don't remember.
I can't remember, but either way. And that's another form of defeat for a lot of Oda's villains, is that their dreams will never be realized.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's actually a really good observation. And I feel like that is so much of, I think, what drives, Judge and Germa's next move here, where basically they're going to serve to, they're going to guard them. They're going to, they're going to play defense for Beijing and Caesar here.
Yeah, because it's a matter of personal pride at that point, because they were tricked, they were saved, all this stuff that just completely shattered his perception of himself. But of course he still maintains the thing is I was we'll buy you time, but I don't need help from a failure. And Sanji's they're making amends, and time to use the heart to get Caesar to do what is necessary. And here we go. We shrink the castle. The Germa heads out, and poor Caesar's right in the crosshairs as Germa protects him and Beijing, and it's time to run away. But she grabs hold of Prometheus and tries to use heavenly fire, and it's Reiju's trying to stand up, but it's not going well, and it's
of course the crappy brother's forget her. It's her fault for being weak.
Just fulfill the mission, and fine, forget about me. I can handle myself. And man, it's Big Mom versus Reiju, but that's when we get a Gum elephant strike, elephant gun, and Diable Jambe cross strike as both Sanji and Luffy jump out to protect her, and is like, what are those idiots thinking? It's like, but you said we shouldn't fight. So, yeah, you shouldn't fight. I'm doing it. No fair. So it's like, of course they couldn't stay out of this.
Of course. Yeah. Man, what a... it's a good place to end, because it's like, all right, it feels like this is like we're about to kick off the final act, right? This is all right, yeah. Let's do this. We're all of... like everything has come to light. The wedding is basically over. So it's time to fight/run.
Right. It feels like it's a protect Caesar and Beige, survive type thing. Yeah. But I feel like escape is just not that simple.
Yeah. So we'll see. Again, we have only but so many chapters left, and it feels like, God, it feels like by this point in an arc, we would have been settling into our like 1v1s at this point. But when it's so interesting how this arc isn't really that much about like fighting in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been plenty of action, but it's not to win; it's to survive a lot of the times. The only one to win is against Cracker.
Yeah, that was really the most sort of quote unquote normal fight.
Even that was wild.
Yeah.
So, man, there's so many directions this could go, because we still have Pudding in the mix. We have all the different family members. Who squares off with who? How many 2-on-1s is there? Like what's going on here? And is Big Mom actually going to be defeated? Right. And I just have this feeling that no, I think she is just that invincible.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you saw. I guess it's interesting too, because the last panel we see is both Luffy and Sanji kind of squaring up for a fight. So it's like, all right, how is this going to go? There's so many different ways that they could take this, but I also feel like it's interesting that we have Big Mom here, but we also I feel like it has been very clearly established that Luffy himself is not even as strong as most of her kids.
Right. So he still struggles against them. And
it would feel weird to kind of jump up to that level already, right?
Exactly.
I thought about this already, that we don't even know her bounty. We don't know any of the Emperor bounties right now. No. And the highest bounty we know is Katakuri.
And that's the other great thing about all this, especially with the Emperors and Oda still maintaining the threat level of them, because our 4 Emperors is we have a former emperor who is the rival of Gold Roger, one of the most feared men in the men world, taken out by a successor who stole his devil fruit, and is just that naturally strong. So there's one emperor. Then we have a woman who's just barely ever taken damage in her life. Just from a emotional state is when she actually scrapes her knees at best. Our other emperor is then a guy who's not even able to kill himself. He's so strong. And then we have Shanks.
A dude with one arm. Yeah.
Those are our emperors. And it's like...
Yeah. I love that how much... Yeah, sort of the scaling makes sense until you get to Shanks. And you're like, that's just a dude.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for the rest of this, but
I'm excited to see how things shake out from here. We're coming up on the end. We don't have that much left, so it really does feel like it's some mix of run and fight is kind of the general direction the story is moving in.
Mm-hmm. And we do have an SBS just before we end things off. Where it's talking about Beige's kid and how he has stubble, and it's like, is the baby already shaving? And it's like, what about the rest of his body hair? And Oda's like, it's like the most natural answer is probably a tortilla chip. It certainly looks like a mustache. As for your other question, the answer is no. I'm not telling you that. I don't. That's dumb. And then we got I got really hey, can I lick Smoothie's legs? That's what Chamaro Shimizu asked me to say. And it's like, that's sick bastard. Draw more fans for service. That's what Chamaro Shimizu asked me to say. That's sick bastard. Like, who's that guy?
I don't know. Is he a comedian? I'm Googling it.
Mr. Shimizu was a Baroque's Work Millions agent stationed at Whiskey Peak. What? Oh my God.
Huh.
So So we have this Chamaro Shimizu that apparently people will start popping up and whatnot. There's a Reddit post from 2 years ago. So it's a bit of spoilers, but it honestly does not matter because it's only SBS related. Chamaro Shimizu is Oda. He writes it to himself simply so he can draw more fan service.
That is an incredible bit.
That's really good.
What, man? That's some deep lore, man. Right? What are we doing here?
That's the only reason I would not know, because there's a Shimizu who's a Millions agent stationed at Whiskey Peak. That's about it. That's all you get otherwise. Yeah. I don't even know why he's even has a name. Oh God. But
that's nuts.
Yeah, there's our chapters for the week. What a backstory, what a situation. I mean,
I don't know what to tell you, man. This arc rules.
Yeah,
I'm having so
it's
much
hard
fun.
to see if I prefer this to Dressrosa. I really going to come down to the finale. It's so different, as you were saying, from how it is, and just that ending is really going to come down to it.
I do think it's personal preference, and especially as we've kind of gone through both now, like it is so evident to me that they are very good at two very different things. Like I feel like these might be the most two different, Zoe included, but like back to back. I think Dressrosa and Whole Cake might be kind of like the biggest jump in or maybe Sky Pieta Water 7 might be the only other one that's like good for two very, very different reasons.
Yeah, I'd agree with that one.
Yeah, I'm glad that I didn't want to be the I'm overhyping it, but I'm glad that it is it's holding up. It's great.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for more. But with that, I believe we've said all we've wanted to say about chapters 866 to 870 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube, or simply BitNerd on BlueSky. And Brandon, where can everyone find you at?
I am Brandon Bovia on Twitter and BlueSky, talking about anime, manga, games, and my job, and just been doing more of that. So check me out, follow me on all the socials and all that fun stuff.
Yep, absolutely. And if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derrick Bittner. That's DerrickBitner to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early, as well as patron-exclusive bonus episodes. And I believe our next bonus episode is actually another tier list where we're going to be ranking the pre-time skip openings, which a lot of these I've never even heard before. So it'll be interesting getting my first reaction to a lot of these.
I listen to him a lot, so I'm a big fan. And also, it's funny that we're doing this at this point in time, because the anime currently has 28 openings. So we will be covering exactly half of them.
Oh, man. That's amazing. So all kinds of great stuff over on the Patreon that you can check out, whether it's the Q&As or the bonus episodes. So give them a look, and make sure to return next time as we discuss chapters 871 to 875 of One Piece. So until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
Don't you want to live in a country of peace? Then fetch my desserts! I'll make sure everyone's happy, as long as you obey. If they don't want to get along, they're just being selfish. So I'll have to kill them!
Mother, I miss you. I miss you.